It's rally point scoring. Guatemala in white serving. Kazakhstan in yellow receiving. It's a Pool A game from the FIVB Beach Volleyball World Championships here in the Netherlands. 4 venues. We're in The Hague as Kazakhstan get their side out rather comfortably. Rotterdam, Apeldoorn and Amsterdam, the other iconic venues here, and in an homage to the Olympic Games in London 2012 at Royal Scouts Parade, all the venues are situated in the city centres with some magnificent buildings around them. We're right next to the Parliament building behind us, and the President has a view overlooking the stadium. The Hofheifer actually loosely translates into Regal Pond, and the pond in which we're on. This is a floating pontoon, this stadium, 5,500 seats as the ball goes down again from Kazakhstan. Their height and power is already telling. These 5,500 seats on this floating pontoon. The man-made lake was built in 1350. The venue was completed around about 1350, a couple of weeks ago. Nice cut. Well, that's what Guatemala did very well in their opening game. When they lost to Canada, every time they cut the ball, come up with a shot, they were quite successful. Kazakhstan will be wary of that. Guatemala know they're going to have to serve really tough against Kazakhstan. Try and keep them off the net as much as possible, because when they're on it, they're just not going to stop the height and power that the team in yellow have. Tsimbalova. Nice play. Mashkova acknowledging the error. She knows she should have stayed in at the net and forced the issue. She's given Guatemala a free swing, and they have punished Kazakhstan. Jose with the serve. Again, serving not really tough enough at the moment. First end change is looking rather comfortable for Kazakhstan. That's a good serve. Putting that ball high into the shoulders of Jose Orellana. Gosh, came very late, didn't really contain the ball. Just trying to mix it up a little bit. Keep Guatemala guessing they don't want to be serving straight at a player. You want to make them move short and deep. If you're trying to bring a player short, it's so to see whether or not once they pass the ball, if they will then have the wherewithal to get back out away from the net to create the space, they can come in and hit the ball again. Sometimes in the heat of competition, players forget to do that. That means they're unable then to develop a powerful attack. Sometimes you don't need to hit it hard, as demonstrated by Andrea. Just a little cheeky pokey into the open court away from Kazakhstan. Nicely done. It was shown very early. It's all very well seeing it. He's doing anything about it. Oh, that was unlucky. Nice chase from Andrea. Scurrying behind Josie. It was Josie scurrying behind Andrea. Unfortunately, big sister couldn't get him, despite her best efforts. The cover, too close to the net, chases on, well played. Another chance, better chance now for Guatemala. Josie has a look through the net, she knows where the space is. Good covering by Kazakhstan. Mashkova Picks it up and then finds a beautiful angle cross-court. That's the rally of the match so far. Both teams working very hard. Guatemala, though, couldn't deliver fully. They kept the rally going. They, despite their couple of opportunities, they weren't able to put the ball away. So Kazakhstan prevailed. That ball right into the cross-court angle. Unforced error. Off the back of that point from Kazakhstan, and now they've got a healthy lead in this first set. Tsimbalova with the serve. Oh, good play. Good hustle from Guatemala. But just ran out of energy during the course of that rally. And Josie not chasing down into the corner. Good reactions, great pickup from little sis Andrea. Says she's going to block line with the one finger being shown. And that meant it was a chase for Josie, but it was just too far. Good disguise. Kept Tsimbalova rooted in the cross-court spot. Already moved over, made a decision very early and gave up lots of line. Good call, easy leave. Sometimes in matches like this, when you are outclassing your opponent physically, there is always a way back in for the other team if you switch off mentally. And, Kazakhstan will be mindful of that. Good team. And a good put away. That's nicely played from Guatemala. Forcing the issue, getting in opposite the power line of Kazakhstan. So Josie sat right opposite Mashkova and said, come on then, hit me. She did, she dug her, and then she brought it back with interest. Ideally, though, you do need to back up those kind of plays with a serve that makes the opposition at least play the ball. Because Kazakhstan now feel great. There was no kind of value in what Guatemala did, because they weren't able to back it up. Great play, nice blocking. First block point for the youngster Andrea, just 19 years of age. Daunting enough playing on the world stage, also playing with your older sister. That is a really well-timed block. Tsimbalova wasn't paying attention. That's where Guatemala aren't used to kind of the tactical element. They've done the right thing. They pushed the serve receiver very deep. The ball was off the net, chance to break and cover the court. Not really going to make a block from that far off the net. And the players attacking. Notice Kazakhstan very quick to break from the net as soon as they know the ball is going to be off of it. Good up, that was unlucky. Went with the right arm, as it were, the left, trying to scoop back in towards her sister, but didn't get the right contact with Josie. She went after this one. Just skimmed off the top of her forearm. That was a real shame. So the technical timeout, it's looking good for Kazakhstan. About a 7-point margin. Tomorrow they will keep plugging away, and that can be sure. It's up to Kazakhstan to maintain. super slow-mo camera. Feel for the athleticism and technique of the players. Mashkova to serve for Kazakhstan. The target, as it has been throughout this first set, is Josie Orellana, and that's why a few unforced errors from her. The consistency is not quite there. She's the shorter of the two players, 162. To her sister, who is towering over her at 169. There's a net touch against Guatemala. Looked for a moment as if Kazakhstan had made the touch in blocking the ball, but it was in fact Andrea. She went after this, making the touch coming through the net. Really good spot from the second official. Good serve. Always difficult when the ball comes across you into your playing partner. You have to decide very early who's taking what, and you have to make that move, but not really helped. Josie moving into Andrea, and then Andrea not moving, so not covering the space. That was unfortunate, all the sting taken out by the top of the net. Good joust. Great pickup. Oh, that's unlucky. It's not going to stay in play, and that was typical as you go chasing after a ball, thinking it's going to come down and get your hands on it, and it was just slowed up by the top of the net, and poor old Josie has gone sailing underneath it and missed it. Timeout called by Guatemala. Trying to catch their breath and refocus. Teams have a timeout each, as well as a technical. Well, just like the World Cup in football, you do get the very different levels of teams from across the world, but it's all about that mass participation, developing the game, making sure it's available to all, and therefore the World Championships in beach volleyball, the World Cup in football, all promote the same idea, the fact that each continent has their qualifying periods and teams will come through, and it creates a great spectacle. And then as the tournament progresses, the top teams move through to the knockout stages, and we will eventually have our winner. 48 teams in each gender, as that's another ace from Mashkova. Andrea not moving her feet. There'll be a new world champion this time round. China's Yuan and Zheng Ji not here for this competition. First for the men, the current holders, Brouwer Musen from the Netherlands, looking to retain their title. Never been done before in the men's side of the event. It has been done in the women's by two teams. Brazil's Shelda and her playing partner won it back-to-back, and then Misty May Trainer and Kerry Walsh won it 3 times in a row for the USA. As we have a look at this rally again. Guatemala working very, very hard, but again, not putting themselves in a position where they can take the initiative. That's the view from the top of the stadium here. It's a view for the spectators in the stadium at the moment. Cheerleaders entertain the fans while the players take a breather. And here are the highlights from the action so far. all rather comfortable for Kazakhstan, taking that opening set 21-7. Here are your statistics. Make of them what you will. Ideally, they should probably add up to the scores that were made, as opposed to the total number of actions that were made. Good lead this time by Andrea. And they have the opening point. Always tricky. Thought about going for it. The line was a call, but Josie was waiting, and that was spotted. So the ball going back the other way. And Mashkova finding the open space in the cross court. Oh, this doesn't look good. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear.
Medical assistance on the center court, please. Medical assistance on the center.
Oh dear, I think that's, she's gone through the sand and landed awkwardly. I think that could be a very nasty ankle injury. I hope it's not broken, but I think that could well be the end of the game for her for the moment. We'll get a 5-minute medical timeout. I hope there's nothing too serious, but it doesn't sound good, does it? It looked like the ankle as it disappeared into the sand. And if it wasn't that, it would have transferred up, and it could be a knee injury. Not something you see very often. Sometimes you get sand toe, you stub your toe on the sand. But he's holding a knee at the moment. Of course, all the cruciate ligaments and everything else that are in there, all those little muscles that support around the kneecap and keep the knee moving. If one of those is strained, or you get a little tear there, that can be very painful. And of course, if the ankle, and that doesn't look good, does it? They've just tried to go to move the leg, and she's not very happy with that at all. Well, this is a real shame. And she's quite clearly in some distress. I think there's going to be a stretcher. Well, it's never great when players injure themselves, and for Kazakhstan, they just know that they have to keep their concentration and keep warm and keep moving. Hopefully, Andrea will recover and she can continue to play, at least if not for this match, then for their last pool game. The medical facilities here are second to none for this World Championship. Well, on the plus side, it doesn't look like anything's broken, does it? Now we have some movement, but it certainly seems that it's the knee that appears to be the issue. Definitely the knee, not the ankle. That's a good thing, but she still does not look very happy. Bless her. Well, injuries are a common part of sport, as those of you that play will know. Normally, most of the players are playing with injuries and nicks, and the well, Dad's coming on to talk to his daughter, find out what the problem is. Obviously, still some real concern here for Andrea. If there is a tear or a nick to the ligament, that pretty much will be the end of the tournament for Andrea. Those of you that have had knee injuries and seen them will know that it's those little muscles do such an important job. The tendons and ligaments of keeping all the rest of the leg working. And we're probably getting to the point where the 5 minutes is up, and that may well mean it's going to be the end for as far as this match is concerned. But the paramount thing is, at the moment, is Andrea, and the fact that she will be okay and she's looked after, and that's all that matters at the moment. There's just about a minute left of the medical timeout available. They do actually have a timeout they could call as well. Should give them another minute. But the fact that she hasn't even moved from the spot under the net kind of tells it the story. Sandy Steele, the FIVB referee delegate, along with Sarah Chevalier, looking on, making sure that she's okay. Kazakhstan getting themselves warmed up again. Well, hopefully Andrea may well recover enough. There's some strapping been applied to the knee. Sandy. It looks like we've reached time, unfortunately. The thing is for Andrea, she's got to make a decision and say, okay, we're up, that's great, she's up and moving, and a good roar of approval from the fans, but does she want to make it any worse? It may be better just to say, do you know what, we'll forfeit the game. Doesn't help. Obviously, people paid to come and watch, but it's about her safety and her health and her ability to be able to play. At the moment, it's not looking great. And even if Kazakhstan decide, okay, well, we'll be nice and we'll serve on Josie, which they have been anyway, Andrea's still got to be able to run across the court and try and put the ball up for an attack to be made. And at the moment, she's only just about managing to walk. Dad looking on. Well, hopefully there'll be some leniency from the FIVB, and if she is good to play, we'll continue. But it doesn't look promising at the moment, does it? The next thing is, can she do that off of the left leg? Because that's what will need to be happening while she's playing. If she can't do that, it's pretty much going to be all over, and I think it's going to be all over.
Come see, okay? Then go. So we need to follow the procedure, okay?
Well, when you're young, you think you're invincible and you can carry on, but you get the feeling in the best interests of Guatemala, and quite rightly, it is all over. And that's a wise decision. It's the right decision. It was a nasty injury. It's good to see that she's recovered enough to come off court. And Kazakhstan come over very quickly and offer commiserations just to make sure she's okay. But there's no point making it any worse whatsoever. She can get some physio, get some rest, get it looked after, and hopefully be available to play when they will take on the #1 seeds Madeline Meppelink and Marlene van Ursel tomorrow. Well, it's such a shame to see any player get injured. It's good to see that they have the smiles. It's Kazakhstan who've taken the match by forfeit.
Goed, dames en heren. Dat betekent inderdaad dus dat deze wedstrijd erop zit vervroegd. Dat zegt wel over niets over het verloop van de verdere in de...
Well, a rather quick conclusion to this match. Good to see that Andrea Orellana is okay, and she can receive some attention and hopefully will be fine to play tomorrow. But that defeat means they'd have to beat the Netherlands. This is how it was done. It looks quite innocuous. At first thought it was an ankle, but it goes really deep. There's like a pocket of sand as she goes down. Oh, yes. Wow. Well, you can see there, can't you? Her knee just comes right through from left to right, and it's almost like a dislocation. It's gone in and come out again. Very similar, actually, to footballers' injuries. When you see that sometimes happen when they move laterally and they get that injury. Well, that brings our coverage to a conclusion, a rather premature one. We do hope you enjoyed the volleyball that you've seen. Plenty more games to come today, though, but for now, from all of us here at The Hague, it's time to say goodbye.